Hi, welcome to Jesus Love Joe. I'm Bobby.
I'm Jerry.
I'm Hope.
And I'm Donna.
Today we're going to shake things up a little bit and not be too intense. So sit back, relax, and we're going to hear from our panel some answers to some questions that I'm going to give them.
Hello, panel.
So get ready,
I'm
panel.
Scared.
So basically what I was titling this is I can relate to that. Because how many times does someone tell a story and you go, oh, I can relate to that, or I have a story about that? And so often we don't get a chance to tell our story. So today I'm going to give our panel a chance to answer some questions and tell some stories on themselves.
And we don't know all of the questions. Is that right?
You do not know all the questions.
Fun.
I have given you some thought to think about on some of the questions, but not every one of them. So my first question is, does anybody have a ministry oops out there? That something that happened in ministry that probably you didn't necessarily want to confess, but maybe you did. Maybe it was funny. Maybe it was something that was just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that happened. Anybody out there want to fess up?
Who wants to go first?
I mean, I was in student ministry for a while, so I got lots. And if your mic's ever been hot and you're like, meaning it's on, and they didn't mute you at front of house and you went to the restroom.
I was going to say that. You took mine.
Yeah. So it actually happened in quite a few. They did mute me, but it was obvious where I was in the restroom, you know.
Ouch.
But,
that one hurts.
That played out well in the big picture of things. But was that an oops? I mean, yeah, I guess I should have muted myself.
Sure.
Yeah.
Not checking the microphone. That's a good one.
Check your mic.
I don't know. A lot of things come to mind, but I can remember when I was pastoring a church and my kids were little, they always, if my husband had to not be at church for whatever reason, if he was out of town, they always picked that time and they'd stand kind of in the back because they didn't have supervision, and they knew I couldn't just be like, stop, you know, and they would like wrestle and be like, you know, and I'm like, oh, you know, and anyways, I think of that. That's probably their oops, not mine, but
that's right.
Hey, at least you didn't respond to that. So how would you title that into a sermon?
They were cute. They were like,
wrestling with
toddler and elementary, that cute age. So
I
couldn't really get mad because they were just so precious, but
precious toddler.
But as a
until they were
mom,
like doing WWE like SmackDown wrestling in the back.
Yeah, that's awesome.
The precious toddler stage.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I gotta keep thinking.
I mean, so for me, I don't know if mine's not really funny. I mean, it's funny now,
Right.
So but also I think some people could relate to this. Early in my ministry life, I was kind of I call myself a recovering perfectionist, but during that stage, I didn't know that I was needing recovery. So I really had a hard time not seeing that there wasn't only one way to accomplish something. So I was just like, okay, this is how you do it. This is how you do it. You laughing?
Not at all.
This is how you do it. This is how you do it. But it was really just naivety, really. And being young in ministry, short-sighted, all those things. I said my sermon title is "The Moment You Realize You Don't Know What You Don't Know." That would be my sermon title.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good one. So I had a
Standard Sunday
somewhat early in ministry moment where I found myself in a book study with a group of women that I really didn't know very well. And when they had asked me to the book study, they caught me off guard, and I was like, oh, sure, I'll do that. And then, regrets afterward going, oh, I really don't know these people. And they had told me the book, so I went and ordered it, and I got it, and I read the first 3 chapters, even though we were only going to be on chapter 1, because I just wanted to make sure I knew. And I got to the book study, the first meeting, and I look at the books on the table, and I am reading the wrong book.
Yeah, sure.
So I shoved it in my bag. Luckily, I had a bag with me, and I shoved it in the bag and just tried to wing it, what they were talking about, trying to, add in things of something that I had no idea because I hadn't read the book. And my conscience probably got the better of me, and I said, I got to admit, I'm reading the wrong book. And they all kind of looked at me like, what? And I was like, I got the wrong book. Same author, wrong book. And they were like, oh, well, what's the book? And I brought the book out, and they're like, oh, we could do that for our next study, and you could just catch up, and you could lead that study. And I was like, oh, no, I absolutely don't want to lead a study, and I certainly don't want to, prompt further meetings with this. So anyway, I did end up staying with the book study and reading the book, and we did do the next book with that group. And those of you who know me know I'm not a big reader, so this was a real challenge for me, because this was in a time when I didn't have audiobooks to assist, so I had to actually read it. And but it was okay. I don't even know what I'd do with a sermon with that. Were we going into what would I was just going to say, if you had to make a sermon out of your faux pas that you had, or your oops, what might it be?
Check your mic.
I actually
know your audience.
I thought 2 little funnies while you were talking that I could bring up. Jerry, are you going to sleep?
No. Got a thing.
This is I really didn't know, and I did grow up in the church, but we didn't always go, and but I remember first I just decided to answer the call and go into ministry, and I remember we were at IHOP or something. I was and my husband and I were sitting there, and I was like, what? I was looking around, I was like, wow, that's pretty common. And I saw people had stuff on their forehead, and I'm like, and I was in my early 20s, and I was like, what? And I said, this is really crazy, but look, the same people around here have hairy looking moles on their forehead. But it was Ash Wednesday.
That's right.
Okay. So I was like, wow. And then, we talked about it and we laughed, and I'm like, yeah. And so learned a lot since then.
You learn more. Yeah.
It's, there's still, so I don't know. For me, that's kind of a humbling thing, but it's also to say, we don't have it all figured out. You were talking about, and then now I'm blanking on the last one I was I do have one. So Easter, we just celebrated Easter, and I was thinking about, I was so excited when I was pastoring this church, and I finally learned what Ash Wednesday is. No, I'm just kidding. And
good.
But I got live butterflies that are special. You have to special order them, because I was thinking that's so cool. At the end of the service, just release them. Well, you have to keep them at a certain temperature. Well, mind you, it's going that way. But I don't even take care of plants well. So anyways, Easter comes, get them all out. The first service, they were still a little bit frozen or too cold. I don't know. But there was a ton of kids, and I was so excited. And we go out at the end of the service, and I give this whole benediction, yes, Christ is risen, and this.
Come on, man, get you.
Okay,
I'm waiting. I'm like at a movie right now.
I know.
Where's it at?
The cliffhanger. So I go to release all the envelopes, and all these little kids are so excited. And all of a sudden they start to fly in this truck. We were in the middle.
No.
Yeah, and he comes,
I thought they were just going to be dead.
Well, and that happened too. So then I hurried up, and I don't remember what I said, but I did, because the little kid was like, mine's not moving, and I'm
Butterflies are not Jesus.
So we had a quick little children's sermon real quick on that.
About life and death in mail order.
I still think about that, but yeah.
We had a teacher do that, and she released the butterflies because they would grow them from the larva, chrysalis larva, and do the whole thing, and they released them, and birds came and were trying to eat the butterflies in front of a bunch of kids. So had those moments in education too, where.
Did you ever ask anyone a question hey, or even present an idea, and then you realized all of a sudden you were in charge of something?
That's what churches work, man.
That's what happens here.
Yeah, hey, it's a great idea. I'm like, Rip.
Careful now.
Yeah.
That happened to me a lot along the way.
Yeah.
Well, you have that kind of personality where people go, oh, I bet Hope would like to do that.
She'd like to. Yeah.
Maybe.
All right, what else you got?
Next question. Let's go to this one. Which Bible character do you secretly relate to most, and why?
I don't secretly relate. I'm
or
very
openly
open about Jonah and what I call the mess of Peter. But I'm probably, if I pick 3 characters in the Bible that I really relate to, is Jonah. And Peter, but to just get a little further back, David, is just, I really felt a connection to the Lord's word speaking through David and in recent times. So yeah, those three for sure.
So on that, what would be a modern day characteristic that you think that David would have?
David, he was a man after God's own heart, but he also admitted his failures. Even if it was just before the Lord, he would admit his failures. But he did desire to do the Lord's will overall. I think of somebody. I just think of men and the way the Lord's designed us to be, fierce warriors. There's a reference out there. We'll tag John Lovell in this podcast. Warrior Poet Society. It's like to be a warrior, but also to be a poet. That's to be a protector, but also just but for the Lord and the family. So I think men identify with that. I like to think the majority of men identify that way, but also acknowledging that we're just completely broken too, because the way we lead does not always turn out the way the Lord planned, but the way we plan. And I think that David is a great example of that. So I don't know if that answers that part of the question, but yeah.
Yeah. Hope, what do you think?
Okay. So I don't know what y'all think about this, but I relate to both Mary and Martha. And it's kind of crazy because, Mary and Martha are sisters, right? They're Lazarus's sisters, if I'm saying that correctly. And Martha is just kind of the hospitality person, getting everything ready, doing everything, can't sit still. And Mary is like, just wants to sit at Jesus's feet. And they kind of have some words with each other. But I truly have both of those in me. While I'm being Martha, everything in me wants to be Mary. Mm-hmm. And so I 100% have this internal battle that's going on the inside when I'm in that place. And I'm like, if Mary and Martha were one, that's where I would be.
Okay.
What she said. No, I'm kidding. I can really relate to that because I long for what you just said. I long to sit. I'm always like, I just want to sit at the foot of Jesus. But then given the free time, I'm like running around trying to create more work. But, but that was
making coffee nervous.
But really, when I was thinking about this question before, and this isn't, I don't know, I didn't answer this question fully, but this is so weird. But who I feel like I get is Paul, which is weird. Like, just because for this reason, not because like I know we're supposed to probably pick women.
No, I didn't put a parameter on that. Yeah.
I feel like I like his passion and the way he gets. I don't know. I see myself getting so hung up on like we talk like injustice. Like I'm just like, oh, was this person really thinking that? I don't know. I just see like this. I don't know. I can just relate. Like sometimes I feel like too passionate about something, and it's just not always like look at post or pre-Paul. And then to Paul, like it's just Saul to Paul, but just. I don't know.
You kind of sound like Peter right now.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah. Maybe there's a Peter Paul thing in there.
Yeah, maybe you're like Hope. You should like put those two together.
But yeah, I just...
she wants to be Paul, but she's got this internal Peter.
Yeah.
Hey, choose your Bible character carefully.
I know. Well, listen, I skipped that question when we had the little... I was like, oh, I'll come to that later.
So I... strangely picked Esther.
Yeah, sure.
And just such courage that like I've had to face a lot of times in my lifetime that I had to be courageous when I didn't necessarily I was called to be courageous from other people's callings. And I feel like Esther and in Esther 4 when Mordecai learns of Haman's edict to destroy the Jews, he mourns publicly. He sends word to Esther urging her to intercede with the king. And I feel like I've been in many of those positions where I've been called to intercede on others' behalfs and had to be courageous. Of course, she could have easily been killed at that point in her. And now I've never been in that position before, I will say that. But I just feel like she was like a courageous through faith and just to intercede and those kinds of things. I feel like that was her character. And I feel like that's kind of what I've been called to do in many instances. So that's kind of who I identified with.
Cool.
Not necessarily one that most people would go, oh, I identify with Esther. I don't know about that, but
I did think about Esther and then went, nope.
Let's think about Herod. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I'm joking.
I thought you were going to say Hagar or something.
I'm like,
that.
hold
gosh.
up. Yeah.
No.
All right,
Okay.
let's talk about the one that I put out there about if the ministry had a mascot.
I got a good one on this.
What would yours be for the ministry you serve in all ministries, whatever it may be? And why would you
I feel
pick
like
that?
I am the mascot.
I want to go first because Jerry keeps taking some of my
Okay.
answers.
Yeah,
and
fine.
hope I can relate.
Yeah, you go first.
Okay, I wrote
We'll
some
let you be first.
on my phone. Hold on. It's not a funny one. I was trying to
You're
think
not,
of a
I'm
really
not going
good
to say what
one,
you were going to
but-
say. I promise.
So for weekday ministries, I know this isn't like the most, but a bird. Okay, hear me out. I know. But here's why. They have a lot of freedom, and I love the ministry that we all work within because, well, unless we're really busy, we do have some freedom. But it's the freedom to like, hey, we're going to get our work done, but if we need to be with our families or whatever,
Yeah,
we
sure.
give that grace. But then also to so I thought it made me think of Matthew chapter 6, verse 25 through 34. And it's the do not worry. I can read it if you want me to.
Yeah, read it.
But here's the relation is because, and I think this is true. I don't want to say it's true in all ministries or churches because I've served in different capacities and, you know, sometimes there's an abundance and it's not necessarily like this, but for weekday, I know that we've been completely like walking in faith to the point where it's like, okay, Lord, I need bread right now. And then it's like, it comes. Because it's like, we
Manna
can't
from
take
heaven.
another step without it. So it's such a great reminder. Therefore, I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or drink, or about your body, what you will wear. Is not life more than food and the body more than clothes? Look at the birds of the air. They do not sow or reap and store away in barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much more valuable than they? Can any of you, by worrying, add a single hour to your life? So,
The answer to that is no.
yeah, no.
Thank
Okay.
you.
That was my one question. I was
So,
able
what kind of bird?
I don't know.
Like a dove?
Like a mockingbird? No, I'm kidding. I don't know.
Okay, all right.
I know. I don't even know. Like,
I started to process it in my head. It was like, yeah, like a dove. And then during dove season, the enemy's like shooting at you, trying to put a jalapeno and wrap bacon around you and put you on the grill.
well,
'cause
I don't
it's-
know the different birds. Although I love to bird watch, but I don't really know their names. But I was thinking of Dumb and Dumber, like mockingbird. Yeah, that's what that came from. But no, we're not related to Dumb and Dumber.
Sorry.
Oh my goodness.
So-
This went awry.
Kick it back a
Oh,
little bit.
this is what
Grandpa's cough
happens when
medicine.
we. Okay, Jerry. Well, I was gonna do something funny, like this weird animal that I
Oh,
Well, it
great.
didn't have
A
to be an
spirit
animal.
that
I did not do an
show.
animal.
It could be
She
an
did not,
object
yeah.
or
I did not.
what? I didn't know it could be an object.
Well, I had an
guess it
animal
could.
at first.
Mascot. I'm an artificial flower. Okay, go ahead.
The thing I
Never
ran
dies.
into, yeah. The thing I ran into is like, which ministry am I talking about here? So I
Yeah.
just went with the overall ministry, big picture, and so I said I would be grapes on a vine.
okay.
Wouldn't that be a cute little outfit with
Yeah.
little grapes and little like like things running up?
Baby.
That's an
All right.
outfit?
Let's
That's
Yeah,
a
because
costume.
mascots have outfits.
Yeah, they have
Yeah.
costumes.
It's kind of like the Stanford Cardinal.
So
it's
my-
like
it'd
up
be
and
like
down
my
the
little
football
head.
field, there's a tree running.
I would think it's
And
funny
like, I don't get
little
it.
head and
y'all
then
serve
grapes.
in most the same ministry,
Yes.
so I'm
Oh,
picturing
yeah.
Jerry with
Grapes.
grapes.
Are you the vine and I'm the grapes? No, that's
No.
Jesus is the vine.
Yes,
All right,
he's
sorry.
the
This is
vine.
All right,
your,
sorry.
this is
Yeah,
your
so
time.
let's go.
Because, I mean, it's in John.
Yeah, John 15.
John 15 in the
Yeah.
verses. So
Oh, well,
I am the vine, you are the branches.
Yeah, I am the
Apart
true
from me.
vine, and
Okay.
my
Nothing.
Father
That's
is the
pretty
vine
deep, yeah.
dresser.
Yeah.
I like it.
So we're going to be getting calls for people to set up, like, if they need a mascot.
For us to pick one.
Grapes on a vine.
And when you think about when you talk to people about Jesus on Sunday, you kind of feel like a mascot, in a sense, because you are. I know this is the serious part, because you're like no different than if people think of weekday, they probably think of Donna Shaw.
Hopefully they think of God.
They do, but they put the ministry with the face.
Yeah.
You're a mascot. No. You're wearing the Psalm 23 T-shirt. That's kind of a jersey.
Yeah.
Right?
You're our new mascot.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
So you're getting some kind of suit. But anywho, I kind of feel like one because it is representing, the local church body at times. But if I was to pick one, like if it had to be super fun, I sometimes, if you guys see the reels that are out there, that's like the NFL mascots that are putting like pies in people's faces and such and all that. I don't know, man. I just think it would be goofy and fun, but I don't know what it'd be a fictional character that's probably in some kind of like purple suit, not a Teletubby.
Barney?
Yeah.
Maybe a superhero?
Maybe.
Comic?
Yeah, but like the superheroes I like are like Deadpool, and that's just like I don't need that representing the church or the ministry. So yeah, it's like what, that pastor guy likes Deadpool? It's like, yeah, Deadpool's cool, but still, yeah.
So I picked the eagle.
Of course, bring something noble into it.
Something, yep.
Yeah, well, Bobby thought of the question, so hers.
Sure, some mine might be a little more in
Great.
depth. So eagle, because they're strategic, they rise above the danger, and they always seek opportunity when it presents itself. And so that's kind of why I picked that. And I did have scripture to go with it. And it's Isaiah 40, verse 31. But they who wait for the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles, and they shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. So just to be strong in all that you do. So if I had a mascot, I want my mascot to be bad.
Yeah.
I think this is kind of cool, though. I'm seeing, like, in the journaling or for the viewers, to really think about that. Like, maybe not a mascot, but for yourself. What's a mascot of yourself? Like, what do you want the world to see? Or what do you want to remember? We always do, at the beginning of the year, like a word.
I just want them to remember Jesus. That's just it, man. Just see Jesus. Don't see me. Don't even think about me. Just think about Jesus, man.
In the purple suit.
In a purple.
Well,
maybe a cloak, but
yeah, maybe.
But no, how people think of a word for the year. Like, what are they going to focus on? Or, I don't know. I think that's okay. Whatever.
No, it's great. And that's a great segue to my last questions for you that I did not give you ahead of time.
Okay.
So I want each of you to describe yourself in 3 words and only 3 words. What describes you? And whoever has their 3 words can go. Otherwise, somebody might steal your words. You want me to go?
Okay, I'm going to go.
Okay, go.
Okay.
Oh, we all can't have the same words?
Well, we don't know.
You don't know. You
Come
could.
up with something good.
Wait.
I got
yeah.
my.
Oh, man. All right. Just 3?
Just 3 words. Describe yourself.
No, that sounded conceited. I meant like...
No, I know it.
Okay.
Well, 3 words are hard to describe yourself.
Okay. Kind/giving. Just kidding. I'm
You
adding
slash?
extra word. I
Like,
know.
No, you only get 3.
Is this back to the
words.
traffic thing again?
And they can't be hyphenated.
Okay. This is what came to mind first, so I'll just do that. Kind, loyal, and honest.
Okay.
Probably should have said loves Jesus in there too.
Well, don't look at me like it's my fault.
You probably have that. I know.
No.
Okay.
Hope? Can you come up with something now after that?
Confused. No, just kidding.
All right.
Not just at this moment that describes you
Competition,
always.
y'all. It's a competition.
Oh, it is?
No.
Oh.
But, yeah.
It's not a competition.
Okay.
I'll tell you why I want you to do this in a minute.
Follower. Forgiven. Loyal.
Okay.
Shepherd needing leadership.
You've done this before. That sounded really good.
That is good.
So
you've practiced
shepherd
it.
needing leadership. I had no idea what the question
No,
was.
he doesn't know what the question is.
Yes.
And mine was loyal, kind, and servant. And so the reason I asked you this is because the Lord created us in his perfect image. And he sees you as the perfect image, and he wants you to see yourself as he sees you. And so when you are thinking of like what our current words in our current language represent us, we need to be kind of proud who the man who made us, what he was wanting for us. And so I heard that loyal, that servant, that, you know, the words you describe, follower, all of those in your descriptions. And so, you know, I just want to encourage those journalers out there and those who are listening, think what describes you in your head. And, you know, we often say, I wish you could, you know, to my own kids, I wish you could see yourself through my eyes, because you would see the amazing man you are. Or, you know, to teachers, I used to say that, you know, if you could see what you do through my eyes, you would see all the great things. But we oftentimes are down on ourselves for our misgivings or things that happen, or our sin. That really doesn't represent the true character of who we are. Those words represent you: the loyalty, the kindness, the servant, the follower. All of those represent who you are. And so I think we can step into those words harder and heavier when we bring them to the forefront of who we are. And so I want to encourage everyone, think of those words that describe you. And when you are self-degrading at times and say, oh, I'm not that good, or I'm, you know, oh, that was a dumb thing to do, or whatever it is words you may use that go against what God made you, then throw those words away and be the three words that God put in your head that day when he created you that you are. So I just want to encourage everyone that, you know, those things represent you, and they represent us all well as followers. And if you're, you know, struggling with what words to come up with, you can hyphenate. I didn't let them. There are lots of words out there. You can slash a word, whatever it is. But I just want to encourage our listeners and viewers out there that, hey, you're worthy, and God made you in his perfect image, and hold that in your heart when things get difficult.
Cool.
Yeah. Anything to add?
I want to change the other word. I want to be a shepherd needing shepherding.
Are you changing yours now?
Yeah.
Well, is really needing a word that describes you?
Yes.
We weren't making a sentence.
My wife just answered it.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
I can relate to that word.
A shepherd needing shepherding.
Oh, they said needy or needy?
Needing.
Okay.
Shepherd needing.
Well, but needing. I guess I can describe it.
That's a separate word. Needing. Would that be a descriptive, like description?
To need.
To need.
I don't know.
I'll take it.
Are we talking like KNEAD?
Do you need?
Kinda, yeah. He is the potter.
We did talk about that
He
today.
is.
Yeah. And I
Apartment
am
ministry.
goofy looking clay.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us today, for participating in our chaos here. We had a good time today, and just letting you see kind of the people we are. We appreciate you and all the things that you do on the outside to support us here at Weekday Ministries, and we'll see you next week.